This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 943, I hope. I'm Exvee, filling in for Brian. So Brian is out this week. If you follow Brian on Blue Sky, you may have seen several months ago his daughter had an extended hospitalization. Unfortunately, she's back in with, I think the same thing again. And so Brian and Kim are spending as much time as they can over there with her right now. So, please send Brian and family all the well wishes and everything. Brian asked me specifically to give a shout out here to Ronald McDonald House. Ronald McDonald House does not have like a full facility in the hospital where his daughter is staying right now, but they do have some amenities available for families that have to stay with long-term hospitalized kids. And it really does help when you go to McDonald's if you throw your change from your purchase into the little donation box by the cash register. Anything you can give to organizations like that is super helpful, and it does it goes where it needs to go. It helps real people who are in difficult situations like this. Brian said there's things like a laundry facility there for the parents to use, a room with free food if they need it. Like it's a really good thing because like extended hospitalizations for a child, any family member, it's really difficult to go through, and insurance or not, the costs can add up really fast for all the like ancillary expenses that are incurred for dealing with a stay like that. So yeah, anything you can do to contribute to one of those causes, like the same way that we promote Toys for Tots around the holidays, like it's the same thing. It's one of these causes that we really believe in here and definitely support throwing some donations behind if and when you can. But here this week we do have Matt, aka Melvar,
Hello.
Rob Clay,
Hello.
Headmaster Don,
Hello.
and Diecast.
See, I was just going to say Brian got abducted by aliens, but, if you want to go ahead and tell the truth.
Yeah, well, that was...
Well, the truth is out there.
The truth was Brian's request, so we're going to go with that.
No, I know.
John DeLuna is not here with us this week. We understand that he is off pursuing his new career as a TikTok influencer, so, go check him out on that. That John D on TikTok. He actually does have a TikTok account under that John D, so I don't know if he's actually posted anything there, but go give that a look if you're on TikTok. So I don't have this in the news bullet points here, but we did hear today that one of the founders and previous CEOs of Hasbro, one of the Hassenfeld brothers, has passed away. So it's like, as much as we say some things are like end of an era, that really feels like, wow, that's kind of probably the last of the original Hasbro era that we're seeing pass on there. All sympathies, of course, to the family, the surviving family, and hopefully, it was a peaceful, comfortable passing and was not, a bad illness or anything like that. I haven't actually looked too deep into that. He was in his mid-70s, though, so, fairly long life and quite a legacy behind him with, the contributions to Hasbro and everything he's given us for many, many a decade. Speaking of Hasbro, we have an update from Hasbro on the matter of replacement RAD Optimus Primes from the HasLab Omega Prime project. Of course, we know there were some problems with the initial production, pretty well documented at this point. Hasbro was pretty quick at the time to respond to the growing number of issues that were being reported, and pretty much right away put it in order for replacement units to be manufactured and eventually distributed. So the update email that they sent out this week is basically thanking the backers for their continued patience with this issue going on. They're saying that the figures are already on back order, which I think in this context means like they have arranged the factory time and the production is just waiting to cycle up when the factory has that window open. They are estimating that the new figures will ship out in fall of 2025, which is a pretty good turnaround time for this. couldn't really expect it to be much faster because, like, even when they did the Star Saber replacements, that took several months just on its own, and that was I don't think their response time on that was quite as fast because they were at that point, I think, trying to figure out what had gone wrong and how widespread the issue was. With this, it seems like they just went ahead and, okay, we're going to produce a bunch of these. Let's just go ahead and get it going. So I think this is going to be a little bit quicker turnaround than Star Saber, fortunately. They're also saying that they are not expecting the current defective figures to be returned to them. They will just send out the replacement figures, and you don't have to do anything else to get your corrected toys, which is great. There was a lot of confusion with the Star Saber replacements. Some people were told, don't bother. Some people were told that they wouldn't get replacements at all until they sent in their originals.
Mhm.
Some people didn't get replacements at all, such as myself. So that, that always has sucked for me. But hopefully, whatever they're doing to correct the Optimus Prime figures here will fix the problem once and for all, and everybody who was affected by the design defect, assembly defect, whatever the problem ultimately was traced down to be, hopefully that will be accounted for, and everybody who got these toys, like Don and his three of them, will just be able to go on and actually enjoy their purchase.
Well,
Don, did you ever check them?
I did open up my other two. The main thing I wanted to make sure on the first one I opened that I could form Omega Prime. That was the main thing. I did the sanding thing. I talked about it on a previous show. I did look at my other ones. I have not had time to pull them apart, but there is no visible damage on either Optimus Prime. I don't see any cracking. I don't see any lubricant issues. I'm not going to transform them without pulling them apart to do the fix on them as well. But since I just need it for the other two are going to be regular Prime and Super Fire Convoy, I'll be able to fix those, a little more at my leisure. But there was no visible cracking, and I also did not see any yellowing on Ultra Magnus that I could find.
The yellowing on
So,
Ultra Magnus seems to be a more isolated situation. And
right,
one theory was that, like, for one of the batches of plastic, they forgot to add essentially a stabilizer that stops it from reacting to UV. It's also something that makes, like, white brighter in plastics. So like it does both functions. It stops it from yellowing just from, like, exposure to basic light, and it will brighten the colors up. So it seems like they forgot to add that to one batch, but it seems like most of the Ultra Magnuses didn't have that problem because we only heard a few cases of
right, yeah.
and only maybe one or two cases of, like, really extreme yellowing. I think Josh Wheeljack64, one of our Discord regulars, tfradio.net/Discord, I think he had, like, one of the most extreme yellowing cases that I saw documented. Hopefully Hasbro will be able to help him sort that out too, and he won't be just stuck with a yellowed Ultra Magnus forever to go along with hopefully a properly corrected Optimus Prime. But that's going to remain to be seen, since the current update only really specifically addresses the Optimus Prime problem, the Prime problem, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a Prime problem.
We shall have a race. No. All right, so we just got our first look at the upcoming LEGO Icons Soundwave. So this is going to be a set comparable in size and complexity to LEGO Optimus Prime. It's coming in at about the same price, $179.99. We don't have a release date mentioned yet, but it will probably be sometime. I would guess probably around August or September. I want to say that's around the time frame Optimus Prime first came out. So,
Yep.
like, I'm kind of expecting, since we're seeing samples now, that probably tracks. We'll probably see this go up on the LEGO store sometime in the next several weeks.
They're
I
doing
thought the
tracks.
rumor was August 1st, but I don't
Okay.
know where I saw that. So it could be wrong.
They may be waiting until Comic-Con to, give this a big unveiling, and then say, like, go on the LEGO store in a week and you'll be able to get in line and maybe buy one.
I'm super happy the head doesn't look like it needs an upgrade. Like it's a decent enough head that I don't need to upgrade it. And it has It has Ravage and Laser Beak.
You'll
And
probably hold Ratbat back for the Sound Blaster version.
yeah. And I'm super excited to actually find out what the sound is because it
Oh, yeah.
doesn't still say. So
I do hope they do like smaller kits to get like Rumble and Frenzy. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Ravage and Laserbeak are engineered since they do appear to transform also. So, like, depending what they can work into, that's probably like a 10 stud width for the cassette mode. So, like, it's limited real estate to work with there, but, like, if they can engineer something to actually make a Rumble and Frenzy work, yeah, it would be cool to get some little bonus cassette kits to supplement this.
Yeah, I mean it'd be an easy way to flesh out the whole Lego experience, especially for younger kids. Let's say, let's say you're an older brother or an older sister, and you get the Soundwave, and they do these smaller, easier cassettes. That's something the younger ones could do that might be easier to do and still interact with the Soundwave.
I mean, if I was the older brother, like, I would not be letting the younger brother anywhere near any of my Legos in the first place.
So Lego your Lego.
Yes. Ego
that's
my
what
Lego.
Duplo's for. If you got little younger kids.
Only up to a point.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it looks great. I haven't bought Bumblebee because I Dononomics my Optimus down to about 114 at the time. And then Bumblebee, I've not been able to do anything with. And the Soundwave, it looks great. I just don't know if I want to add another $150, $160 Lego figure to my collection when Optimus is still in the box unbuilt.
You do, Don.
But see, this is like $180 for 3 Lego figures, Don, not one.
That's true.
Oh, that's much better.
I mean, you're basically leaving money on the table if you don't buy this. It's
Yeah.
three for the price of one.
Yeah, again, it depends on what's coming out at that time because there is something on HasLab I'm thinking about getting, obviously. So there's that.
If this is anything like Lego Optimus Prime, like, it's going to be around basically in perpetuity. You can still get Lego Optimus Prime today if you want to.
Yeah, and Bumblebee's really either they're selling and they're getting replenishment or they're not selling because both Target and Walmart have had Bumblebee since almost day one. I've never seen it not there.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bumblebee. It's really good. So.
I just wish some of the Target sales would apply to Lego, but I know that's on the Lego side, not Target side. So
you should write them a polite letter.
It's Lego. I don't think they really care. It's like
Don doesn't know Danish.
No, I've got some Danish in the kitchen, but
I recall when Lego Optimus Prime first came out, like, our short list for the second kit was Soundwave because we expected, like, they would be able to engineer a Lego robot to turn into a box really easily. And that's proven to be true because, as you say, Lego Soundwave actually does look quite good. Lego Optimus Prime was pretty good too. There were obviously some compromises here and there to make it work. Soundwave looks like it didn't have to go through quite the same process to, like, massage the transformation into place. And, like, this feels like if you're only going to get one Lego Transformer, this would be the one to get out of what's available currently. It'll be interesting if there's a fourth one, if they decide to, like, try to do a Seeker or something more ambitious like that, or if it's just going to be Sound Blaster.
Yeah.
It's going to be a Megatron that turns into a tank.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it's like Soundwave by default should be easier because he's a box.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't have to fit hands and wheels and all that. It's a box.
Well, you do have to fit hands.
Well, I mean, but not like, you don't have to do the Optimus Prime thing. You just fold them down and you're done.
Yeah, I have to imagine Starscream is probably on a short list somewhere.
Yeah, it's just a matter of figuring out how to make it work.
It also a matter of, do they want to do another bad guy or do they want another good guy out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course they realize that you've got the recolor opportunity there. So if it's like, if we do the Starscream, we know we're getting at least 2 more uses out of this mold for cost differentiation. Not to mention a slight tweak, you get 3 more of the Seekers.
Let's keep in mind here, mold reuse doesn't work the same way with Lego as it does with normal Transformers because it's all bricks. Everything is mold reuse.
No, that's true.
Yes, but there is a set design.
Yes, there is existing engineering that they can draw from and not have to start over from scratch again, which also makes me think that number 4 could just as easily be Cliff Jumper because they can reuse 95% of what they did with Bumblebee and just make a slightly different head for it.
Or since they already have Soundwave, that's not too far away from a blaster.
Yeah, that's true.
Wouldn't it be ironic, don't you think, that Lego Starscream would be the only way that you finally get a correctly colored Sunstorm?
I wouldn't do it. I'm not going down the Lego rabbit hole.
Not even for Sunstorm?
No. So, Walmart is getting ready to launch their summer 2025 collector con job. That's going to be coming along on July 24th. So far, there's not anything announced for Transformers involvement, but like we kind of have to assume there's going to be something. We do still have on the books the Brawn and Sea Spray retro figures, which should be the second assortment of Bumblebee and Gears, the specific SKU for those. So hopefully we'll be seeing something about those come up before or during that event, because I gotta be honest, I'm getting a little worried about that Sea Spray since we haven't heard anything more about it since the listings leaked.
Yeah. Online is probably the only way I'm going to be able to get it because those retro figures are clogging up the shelves at Walmart's.
Yeah, I can still find Gears locally.
Actually,
pretty easy.
it's all Gears.
Yeah,
like they must have bought 3 solid cases of Gears.
Yeah,
Gears is a solid case. I did find.
Yeah,
that
no, they both ship as cases of 8. What, Don?
Yeah.
Now, wasn't there something about Walmart not picking up the rest of their capsule?
That was whatever capsule.
The Cybertron Galaxy Force.
Yeah,
whatever
it was
Excellion and Sideways are part of.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's like, do you think maybe that some of that may show up possibly if they chose to take it? Because
if they chose to take it, but we don't know.
Like most likely, the drop products would have just been straight recolors, so it's a lot easier to just have those be dropped and disappear like Velocitron Toy Hot Rod did. Because as long as no inventory was manufactured at the time that Walmart decided, no, we're not doing that anymore, they're not really out anything to not produce those. If new stuff was too old for that, that's one thing. Like, if they decided to cancel Sideways, that would be a big problem for Hasbro. Recolors, that's fairly negligible. It's unfortunate, especially since we may never know what the entirety of that capsule was intended to be.
That's what I want to know, is what the rest of that stuff.
I want to know. Yeah, I want to know what the leader figure was going to be.
I think there was supposed to be a Skywarp in that set off the Cybertron Starscream.
Yeah, I think that's the only other one we know a specific identity for. There was 2 other unnamed deluxes and a leader price point that didn't get any further information ever added about them, which
of course, if the design team are dead set on getting these out, like if they're really pushing for it, I mean, there are other ways to get them out to market. You can put them in a Target 4-pack, sell it on Pulse, whatever.
Yeah, eventually. I really, really want to know what that leader price point was going to be, though, because, like, I don't think they would have just rerun the Siege Galaxy Force Optimus, especially since there had been some discussion from the Hasbro team in years since that, like, they would really want to redo that toy from the ground up if they were going to do Cybertron Optimus again. But there's not a ton of options for what they could have put together as a leader price point package to make sense within that framework. So like that's the biggest loss in my mind, is not knowing what that plan was going to be. As it is, Sideways and Excellion have been pushed back on their release date until September, both through Hasbro Pulse and Walmart, for people who had pre-orders in for those toys, from when they were up back in March, I think.
Doesn't Walmart just cancel your order?
Eventually, yeah. Every once in a while, though, I do get the stuff that I order from Walmart. Of course, when it's like Retro Bumblebee and Gears, it ended up where like I pre-ordered them, and then they started coming into stock on the website. My pre-orders weren't getting fulfilled, so I ordered them from the in-stock listing on the website and got them before the pre-orders did anything, and then just canceled the pre-orders.
Well, that's what happened to Diecast.
Essentially, yeah, it's like your Netflix toys, and then there's the other option where you get essential oils instead.
Yes.
Or like Sean was telling us about on There Goes My Money, where he ordered Earthrise Scorponok and got 2 pillows instead.
Well,
that's so he could cry himself to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I ordered the new Bumblebee Volkswagen figure and got Earthspark Bumblebee.
Oh, fun.
It is a Bumblebee. I mean,
that's true. Did you order that for store pickup or just like normal website order?
Normal website order for delivery.
That's unfortunate. Oh, Rob, you have new information for us, I see in our Discord?
Yeah, just a tiny bit. I got a payment processing soon notice on the reissue of Nova Prime this evening. So last I'd seen, that was still scheduled for October, so that's kind of a bump up. So
Yeah.
You know.
And I got a notification that TF1 Alita is going to be processing soon, which I completely forgot about, since there's been nothing for her shown or anything that I can remember.
She was featured in the last live stream.
Okay,
a couple weeks ago.
I must have missed that part.
I mean, I think most people just kind of ignored that because they like debuted that Alita figure like a year ago, and it's taken this long for it to actually get to the point of getting into an assortment for some reason. It's a nice looking figure. It's like Sentinel Prime. I kind of just don't care enough anymore. It took too long. I love that movie. I'm just kind of over the point of needing toys from it in general. Which makes
TBD on Arachnid.
Okay, probably yes. We'll see how that develops as it moves further through actual production and not just gray prototyping. Okay, so this is Rob's note. There is a good segue here. You didn't miss it the first time, but Hasbro is reissuing Studio Series 86 Blaster anyway, for some reason.
This is why I was so confused, and I sent something in our chat.
Yeah,
is because I have Blaster, and I could not remember if the tape was opaque or a different guy, or it is the exact same.
Yeah, it's a straight reissue.
He is opaque eject, yes.
Yeah. So I was just very I was kind of blindsided. I was like, where's this coming from? I don't know if it's because it's a Blaster's coming out with all the other tapes. They want to put him back out there too. It's I don't know.
Imagine if they'd reissued it with opaque rewind just out of spite.
That's what I was going to say. Hasbro missed out on the opportunity to do something hilarious this time and just change the blue for black in the mold and give us rewind.
Because they're going to paint over it anyway
Blaster.
On Blaster.
Because you had Siege and Kingdom, then you had Twincast, then you had 86. Now you got reissue 86. It's like Perceptor all over again. We keep getting these molds, and it's like there's just a hand's turn worth of difference. Although the Perceptor does have more, we talked about this last week, there is more to that Perceptor than met the eye on the original photos.
Yeah, they retooled it pretty heavily.
Blaster is a good figure, and that's my thing. Is that
that's a really good
because Perceptor's coming out with the rest of the tapes. They that's why they're putting this guy back
Well,
out. It's
Ram
the only
Horn
thing
at
that-
least.
Ramhorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
it may have something to do with it, and 86 Blaster is the best deco for that mold. I'm not even going to pose that as opinion. I'm just making that be a fact. That's a fact now. You heard it here first. 86 Blaster is definitively the best deco for that mold.
Fair.
We just need an opaque rewind by some means or another, and unfortunately, that little cassette is tied to part of the chest door,
Yeah, the chest door.
so it's unlikely that we'll see that just like cut off by itself and released anyway, other than another use of that blaster mold. Studio
I guess we'll
Series
get a second run of
86.
Sound Blaster.
Studio Series 86 Twincast when?
Yes, Twincast.
Yeah.
Sound Blaster. Brain.
Yeah, it's fine. I was thinking it'd be kind of weird for Sound Blaster to come with Rewind, but these things happen.
Yeah.
So we had a painted prototype shown for the Synergenics Macross 7 Basara Prime figure. They actually took this to Anime Expo, which was happening in Los Angeles this past weekend, and made that the world debut for their color hand-painted sample of their Macross crossover toy. And what I note here, interestingly, is they kind of neglect to have the jet mode by itself. They show it as the robot on the stage, and the squashed up jet combined with the trailer. It's almost like they don't want people to be able to look underneath and see all the robot underneath that jet skin on top. And
Well, it's just a retool of Silverbolt. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, from the top it looks like a Veritech, but it's like, one, what are some of these modes on the back of the box? Two, why is this not Rodimus? Although they just did a Rodimus, which is probably why. And it's like the vehicle mode looks like someone looked at Titan's Return Broadside and said, "Hold my beer."
oh, well, it's not that bad.
Are we looking at the same box?
It's not that
The
bad.
Vehicle mode. That's as much a vehicle as me trying to ride Hank into the living room.
I think you'll get the animal cruelty people on you for doing that, Don.
Yeah. I was excited about this, and then I saw the price, and I was like, I can't do
It's
$200 for this.
Yeah, it's like
Sorry. I like
just-
it, but no.
you don't. I'm gonna borrow a phrase from my wonderful wife. You like it, but you don't $200 like it.
Right.
I don't think that's her original phrase, but like, sure.
I'm giving her credit. I think she made it up herself, and it's brilliant.
Yeah, I've heard that for a long time. That's an old expression. But yeah, it's not $200.
No, probably not. It's a shame too. Like it's a fun idea, but
Yep.
yeah, it's just
It's a novel. It's not a must get. It's a novelty at this point compared to some of the other Synergex stuff we've seen, like the Predaking, which I think, whenever the price is announced, is going to be a make or break for a lot of collectors. The Rodimus was received very well. The Zoid Prime, little pricey, but Zoid fans are getting something interesting. Transformer fans are getting something interesting. The Diaclone bit really isn't. It's just there to increase the price because it's a Diaclone.
it feels like it. Yeah.
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 But this is just, it's almost like they needed something else to round out an offering slate. And this was kind of like 4 of 4 ideas they had.
I really want this partnership to pave the way for like an official Macross branded Jetfire. Like, let's just, bring it back around and actually have that be a thing for the first time and not be like this nebulous legal gray area of this character's existence.
Is that like dividing by 0 and cause the end of the universe?
So, speaking of the end of the universe, we have some rumors from a reputably reliable source from like a Baidu message board. First up is that Movie Masterpiece may be returning, and it's going to pick back up with Revenge of the Fallen Sideswipe.
Oh, the price point better be right for that because he's a smaller figure. So
Movie Masterpieces had been priced like more reasonably for what they were as compared to like the G1 Masterpieces. So like presumably that would continue.
Now this is not this version that I like. I like the sidearm sideswipe the best.
That was a Dark of the Moon revision.
Yeah, it was Dark of the Moon. Yeah, but I think sideswipe is one of my favorite movie bots. Just his aesthetic is pretty nice. It's not completely bag of knives.
No, sideswipe actually like to me kind of stood out as an example of what the movie design should have been because like it was, as you say, not a bag of knives. It was not a G1 aesthetic, but it was a lot smoother and more like
cleaner. It was cleaner.
Yeah, it was cleaner and more realized is the best word I can think of to describe it. Like it's definitely got its own visual identity, but it's a unique visual identity in Transformers, and it's actually like it knows what it's doing.
I mean, they could just give him guns. I know there's slight tweaks between the two as far as body style and some stuff like
I'm positive if this actually comes out, we will see a Dark of the Moon revision of it within a year.
Yeah.
It's too easy to not do that.
Yeah. With a lot of mold reuse and a lot of profit.
Yeah. The other rumor is that the first Missing Link Decepticon may be Nemesis Prime, which unfortunately makes a fair bit of sense. Do you recall we talked about that Missing Link Convoy C01 was going to get a rerun this year? So that happened last year too, and you know what else happened last year was Missing Link Sentinel Prime. So it kind of follows...
You know what else?
Oh,
you know what else is on the rumor list? Missing Link Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that they're going to take...
They are going to get their money's worth out of this Optimus Prime.
They're going to take an Optimus Prime.
And I am going to buy every one of them.
Well, now, the only thing I'm wondering is, now that this rumor is out there, because there is I think Brian got it, that KO of Missing Link Optimus with the trailer, they could very easily beat Hasbro out with a KO Nemesis Prime using that mold. And I'm just wondering if that will take some of the thunder away from it, if they can beat Hasbro to market, if they're willing to take that chance. But I mean, they've already, because I'm looking at Shozy Store right now, and that KO version is now $55.
I don't think they're worried about that. I was just gonna say, imagine that.
There's also Shattered Glass.
They're gonna repaint an Optimus Prime into a Nemesis Prime. They hardly ever do that.
I know, it's practically unheard of.
It's impossible.
It would look really good in the Nemesis colors, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, like probably every time we see a reissue of C01 come up, we can probably assume that they've also got planned as a Tokyo Toy Show exclusive or something, another redeco of that toy. Ultra Magnus is on the rumor list, and like, yeah, probably. See, like, I'm kind of torn there because I don't know if they would just like use the C01 cab robot molds specifically for that, or if they would recut them and have a separate set for the Ultra Magnus production itself. Because like that kind of makes a little bit more sense to me, so you're not like basically running all your eggs in one basket.
I don't know, but if you look at those, like the comic strip, it looks pretty much like the CO1 cab stuck in a in a trailer.
I'm sure it would be that, but like since that exists as CAD files, they can have the molds cut by computer controlled machines, so they can precisely duplicate that. Like
duplicate the molds. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying engineer a new toy. I'm just saying have a new set of molds so they can make those in parallel, or if one mold gets damaged, they're not out of luck for both toys.
Yeah, because there's still several repaints they could get out of that.
Yeah.
I need my my powered convoy. I need that to happen somehow or another.
Yeah, if they're not running duplicate parallel molds for Missing Link Convoy, they're going to have to start refurbishing that mold pretty soon to account for the wear, because like they have run that pretty heavily already, and it's just going to get worse if they are going to use that for the Ultra Magnus version too, and then we get like a powered Convoy version out of that, or Matrix Glow Urine Ultra Magnus. We could get 7-Eleven Optimus Prime Shattered Glass. Like there's a ton of things still that they can do with that for even, short run convention exclusive redecos, and every one of them will probably come with a reissue of either C01 or the hypothetical Missing Link Ultra Magnus once that exists.
Yeah.
So
Well, 7-Eleven would just be another white cab, wouldn't it?
with mild differences, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need that. I already have a White Ranger for my Sentai team.
Yeah. So you see, if you like this mold, you're in luck.
Oh, you were waiting so long to work that in there, weren't you, Don?
Yes, I was.
You were holding it in, crossing your legs, squirming in your chair. Brian's gonna hate this episode. I hope, I understand Nemesis Prime potentially being the first Missing Link Decepticon. I would really like to hear about some other Missing Link Decepticons being developed at some point in the near future here.
Again, you have to imagine Starscream is on somebody's short list.
It has to be. There's so
you can use it at least 3 times.
Probably 9.
I said at least.
Yeah.
Three regular, 3 cone heads, Sunstorm, Acid Storm.
Okay, 15.
Rainmakers.
Yeah. Rainmakers, Welcoming Committee, G2 Starscream
please.
and Ramjet, Nacelle. Like there's
Nacelle done properly.
And I'd buy them all.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yeah,
And ask for more.
There's tons and tons and tons of Seekers you can do. So
That's one of those ruinous molds. That's like a Datsun or a Sideswipe mold. Like you just, as soon as you see one, you just know that you're going to spend so much money.
But the Seeker is the worst of them all because there's not 15 different Datsuns they can run. Blade Raider,
there are like 5.
Yeah. Blade Raider says, I don't think I'd buy, but I kind of want to see the madness of Missing Link combiners.
Ooh.
I mean,
you kind of see that in like the Mecha Legion Devastator now, the one where they swapped Scrapper and
no, but these would have to be faithful.
Nothing alike.
Yeah, these have to be faithful updates.
Yeah.
As much as we say the Seekers are probably on the short list for Missing Link, Bruticus, the Combaticons, must be also, because that's probably the next most you can reuse something in the Scramble City stuff.
Yeah.
Because Bruticus, G2, Ruination, Battle Gaia.
Baldigus.
That Ruination, Baldigus is basically the... For this purpose, it's the same thing.
There's differences. I have both.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, for Missing Link, they would do Baldigus, yes, not Hasbro Ruination, but it's basically the same thing.
Sure, you could do all 3 Ruinations, and I'd buy them all.
Of course.
And a Baldigus.
Yeah.
But any chance at all to get a Battle Gaia.
Yeah, and here's something that, I thought of after last week's show. I just hadn't a chance to mention it. If they did Pretenders with those simple transformations...
You could find a way for me to not buy a Missing Link.
I'm just saying.
There you go.
In that case, the shell would be the more. I'm just spitballing here. But if they made G1 Missing Link to Pretenders because they know people want Pretenders, they just can't find a way to.
And they still won't find a way to because they can't make the shells be anything other than what they already were.
Right.
So why would we buy them?
I'm just saying it's something they could do with a simple robot.
So, okay, Don, if we assume that all of G1 from 1984 to 1991 is on the potential list for Missing Link, you have to assume that the Pretenders are down there somewhere near number 500 or 600 on that list.
I know. I'm just saying, I just thought of that like simple robot modes that fit inside the shells be much easier to make engineering standpoint.
Chris, Brian would have shot him down by now. What's the matter with you?
Well, I think that's what I just did.
Okay, it was just an idea that I thought
The
of for
Pretenders
some
would be
reason.
somewhere below Guzzle on the list of missing
Yeah,
Link toys.
Right. Well, I was looking at the.
Hey, I need a new Guzzle in Generations, quite frankly.
Well, yeah, in Generations, but that's
I need him for my record shelf.
yeah. We're
Wait,
kind
it was
of
just a
missing out.
thought.
Yeah.
It was just
Well,
a thought.
did anybody catch the preview video they put up for Transformers Cyberworld?
Nope.
Yeah.
I saw the clip with him fighting
Grimlock.
Yeah, I saw the clip.
Yeah.
I can't decide if it's a good thing that it's going to be on YouTube or a bad thing.
Well,
Like-
it's a good thing because it's like just up there for whenever you have time to watch it.
Right,
And I
but
think
did
they're
they monetize
5-minute
it
episodes,
enough?
aren't they?
Okay, one at a time, please, Matt.
Sorry.
I think they're going to be like short, like 5-minute episodes, aren't they?
I think something like that. I think
Yeah,
it's going to
they
be short
said-
form.
They said 36 5-minute digital episodes. So I'm just, I don't know if, I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't sound like to me they put enough money into producing this, and that's why it's going to YouTube.
I think they're just putting it to YouTube because, like, it is the distribution platform now. Like, cable and satellite is not like such a ubiquitous thing as it used to be. And the last couple times they tried first running a show on Cartoon Network, it kind of screwed them over with the time slots they got. They probably
Earthspark didn't do incredibly well on a streaming service.
Unfortunately so, because Earthspark was actually a genuinely good show, too.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't seen
Earthspark was
season
really
2.
good.
I haven't seen
Okay.
the second season. Well, whatever they're calling the second season, but
Mhm.
I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I mean, hopefully it's easier to find than the Takara Wild Force, Wild King,
Wild King.
Wild King.
Wild King, Wild Force. That's somebody different.
That's Power Rangers.
Yeah, Hasbro doesn't want to talk about that.
No, they especially don't want to talk about Wild Force. The whole unfortunate Rick Medina incident. Right, so, anyway, the Cyberworld preview video, the animation looks okay. The models are kind of simplistic and extremely toy accurate. Almost to a detriment in that in some shots you can just see, like, the giant ball joint that is Optimus Prime's wrist. The saving grace for it though is the like shader model that they're using for this is actually really pretty and really polishes up the whole look of the production. But yeah, the models are not like super complex or anything. The animation is very smooth and the voice acting is kind of decent. Optimus Prime is actually displaying a personality. Now I know that's a low bar compared to some previous shows, but like it does kind of stand out for productions like this. Blade, did Grimlock have a Russian accent? I couldn't tell through the Grimlock.
I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, he
specifically.
just sounded like Grimlock.
Yeah. Did we know there was a Galvatron in this coming assortment? All right, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
Well, we might as well. We have some in-hand photos of some of the Cyberworld Cyber Changers and Armored Cyber Changers. The Galvatron that Dawn has spoiled is one of the Armored Cyber Changers. And it turns into a dragon. It doesn't really look that much like a Galvatron in robot mode either, but you know.
Yeah, I just don't.
Kind of has a Rodimus Unicronus vibe to the
Yeah,
head
with the
design,
mustache.
and I like it.
Yeah.
No. I'm not crazy about the hands or just the feet but again, this level of toys.
Yeah, I mean they're fairly simplistic toys.
Yeah. It's again, I think it's more of a novelty, but if it's easy for the kids, I will say the Megatron, it has me interested if nothing else.
That's the Bison Megatron.
The Bison Megatron, yeah,
Yeah.
that's no bull.
And of course,
Prime in a Grimlock suit is interesting too.
Grimlock suit sold separately. And of course, everybody's favorite race car, Skybite.
Of course.
I mean, when I actually see that in a store, I am buying the heck out of that thing. But yeah, I mean, you can kind of see here, I'm showing this on the video for the live stream, the Cyberworld Optimus is a little bit bigger than a core class toy. the core class toy is probably a little bit more articulated, but like that's a a general guideline for the size of these, at least at this price point. And I remember when we were looking at the stock photos for Grimlock once upon a time too. Like Brian, especially, I think was fairly taken with the idea of like the Grimlock mech suit. It's a cool bit of like toy design, and I appreciate that. It's not a toy that I'm interested in buying, but I kind of like that they leaned hard into the play value of this more than anything else.
Yeah. I wish, like, I think it was Brian or Diecast last week said about Scorponok. I wish I didn't like that as much as I do.
The sad thing I want to say about that is that probably by Christmas or a little bit after, you can probably get that Scorponok for like 30% off at Ross, which will probably make it a little bit more palatable to you. And, I kind of hate leaning into it in that way, but, like, kind of where we're at with it. I like it a lot, too, but I can't see ever paying, like, retail for that. That would definitely be, like, a, see it close out and just kind of get it as a novelty thing. Although, big as that is, I don't know where I would put it.
Hanging from the ceiling with fishing line.
I might get that Bison Megatron too, because that's like an interesting little bit of redesign work. And I can't imagine these things are going to cost that much. Probably less than $10 each, I hope.
Hopefully.
At or around $10, I'm fine getting a couple of them.
Yeah. Like I am fine with like a, decent low cost, high play value toy line.
Yeah, absolutely.
That works.
On the other end of the spectrum, we have package images for the NFL crossover Transformers.
And of course they pose them all the same way.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
That's so they only have to design the packaging once.
I know. I guess I was just hoping for a little bit more.
I'm surprised they're not packaged in helmet mode.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of the same way we don't get regular Transformers generally in vehicle mode.
Yep.
I don't remember if we had the individual names for these toys before, so...
We did, yeah.
KC-59, Steel Smash, Star Blitz, Tundra Prime.
I just want them to announce Wave 2, because there better be an Eagles
Eventually there will be.
Or I'm going to be mad.
Like, I think they are going to do the whole league.
That would be awesome. If they do the whole league, I may buy them all.
It might take a little while to get to your team of choice, but I imagine, they've probably licensed this out far enough to do the whole thing. Since this is, like we talked about previously, these are basically evergreen toys.
Yeah. I mean, I could see these things being sold at stadiums.
Yeah, exactly.
And everywhere. It's really smart, I think, because if your dad and you're going to the football game and your kid and you stop in a store and he wants this, Steelers Transformer, like, yeah, fine, and just gets him hooked on the line. It's good intro toy
at the low gift shop price of $44.99.
yeah, probably.
No, Don, wipe that look off your face.
No, those helmets are $45.
No, I'm saying if they're sold. I'm saying like if you would buy them at like a gift shop at the arena.
Oh yeah.
For whatever quantity of these go to normal retail, they should be just deluxe price, whatever that may happen to be at that time.
Yeah, but I am excited about these. I would have liked to have seen a couple different package variations of the guys. Maybe they'll do that in the next wave. Like maybe the next wave will be a different pose.
So my assumption here is that the packaging design itself probably was the subject of a lot of negotiation with the NFL regulators to settle on something that was acceptable to both parties. So that's probably going to just be the packaging design for the whole thing because that's what everybody was able to agree on.
Yeah, and if it is, it is. You know what I mean? I'm not...
Yeah. These are up for pre-order right now on Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon, and they are $24.99 on pre-order right now.
Get them while they're hot before the season.
Don't you think they'd be hotter during the season?
They're going to be hot during the season, I think. So
I mean,
yeah,
they won't be that hot because they're not supposed to ship until December.
that's true. Well, yeah. Some teams are already out of it by December.
Well, hopefully not these
So-
four.
Yeah.
The one being called KC-59, though, just makes me want them to do a crossover with barbecue sauce and have a KC Masterpiece Transformer.
I don't get the 59. I would love to know.
Is there
the
okay?
reference
So like,
there.
is there a notable player on that team as number 59?
I don't know.
Yeah, we're not the crowd to be like doing a deep dive on football topics. I don't think.
Oh, I love football. I'm not by any means an expert in it. So like I know a lot about the Eagles just because that's my team, but some of the other teams I don't know that as much about. I kind of feel a way that Green Bay got the Prime figure. That makes me sad.
Maybe they just wanted to get this like Tundra Prime idea locked in for use somewhere else later on.
Well, I think the Tundra, the Green Bay Stadium has some nickname that's associated with the Tundra.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Like it being
surprised.
super cold there.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense. That's what I mean. Like everything obviously Star Blitz is because the Dallas Cowboys have a star for their symbol, the KC-59. I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
I knew stalling this out would help us. Our Discord has come to the rescue here. So Jared and Ness both have cleared up. 59 is the year the Chiefs became an NFL team.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, so I knew there was a reason. The
Yeah.
frozen tundra, that's what the Green Bay Stadium's usually called.
Yeah, that far up in Wisconsin, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it was on the top of my head.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I figured it out. Okay. We can go on now. I figured stuff out.
All right. Last up, we have, we all love the Doctor Wu cassettes, right? So how about some shattered glass versions of Slugfest and Overkill?
I mean, they look good.
Yeah. I don't need shattered glass colors of combining cassettes, but
They look...
Slugfest and Overkill don't combine.
Yeah.
or
These
or
are just individuals.
individual cassettes. Yeah, they're fine. I don't need them, but they look nice.
The colors are just so good on these molds. I may have to double dip for these. I have not decided yet. I hope Dr. Wu never stops making these cassette toys.
I hope they go back and take passes at like Steeljaw and rewind and eject.
Ravage.
Yeah.
I want to see Dr. Wu do a Ravage to prove definitively once and for all whether it's even possible to get a good Ravage in this form factor at this size. Because if anyone can do it, it will be Dr. Wu's engineers.
And if they can, Ravage has some repaint potential. So
A little bit, yeah. You at least get Howlback out of it.
and stripes.
Oh yeah, that would work.
And there's a obscure green one too. I can't remember his name.
Is that Garboil?
No, Garboil was a Laserbeak.
Crap, I always get that wrong. Python Patroller, aka Don Jr., says that the LEGO Ravage might be the best one. Well, that remains to be seen. I am curious how that's going to turn out, because if they can make a better Ravage out of LEGO than Hasbro can make out of like raw plastic, then something's gone incredibly, incredibly wrong.
He said it may be the best, not good. There's a difference.
Well, it still has to be better than the G1 Ravage, which so far still manages to be better than all of the modern ones somehow.
Yeah, 40 years and counting. Yeah.
All right, let's go on to what we got this week. I will go first briefly. Thanks very much to Blade Raider, who sent me a DM on Discord the other day, asking me if I still needed Earthspark Soundwave, and yes, I did.
That is awesome. That is really nice.
So thank you so much, Blade. I really appreciate that. I've currently got it in boomerang mode. It is really impressive what they've done with this. Like the jet mode is so low profile. And it doesn't even like do any weird tricks to get that flat in vehicle mode. It's just like the robot itself is fairly thin front to back, and then they just hinge the backpack down to flatten it out a little bit more. Like it's very elegantly simple how that works. The transformation for the wings into the legs is really nice. It is like a better Titan's Return mind wipe, especially since this is not soft plastic that is likely to deteriorate over time in some conditions, which is why I have at least one spare mind wipe in a box somewhere. And yeah, like the only thing with this is handling this one just makes me think like, okay, what if they had made this, but it was a Voyager instead? Because like as good as this is, just imagine how much more they could have like tightened this up and cleaned up the vehicle underside and everything if they had a little bit more plastic and engineering to work with just to dial it in that much further. But like, no, this is a great toy, and it really just highlights how good the Earthspark Deluxe lineup, the engineering and design work on that, how good it got toward the end. Because the last couple waves worth of figures, Aftermath, hashtag Jawbreaker, and the Soundwave, like they are just really, really nice, solid toys. And of course, it's always at the end of a line before they reset and go into a completely different design direction, and we have to start all over again. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Glad to finally have it and not have to worry about it. Now, I just have to track down a hashtag somewhere. Hopefully, that will be slightly easier, but we'll see how that ends up shaking out in the long term. Thank you again so much, Blade. Diecast, why don't you go next?
Yeah, it's gonna be quick. I got nothing.
Cool. Done.
All right, I got a couple of things.
Yeah, you always have a couple of things.
Okay, well, thanks to some Dinobots and my local Target putting this on clearance, I got Studio Series TF1 Bumblebee for $4.
What?
Sure.
Yeah, so I'll take that for $4.
Wow.
I'll buy that for $4.
Yep. So, and it was marked down from 24 to 17 to 12, and I got it for $4.
Oh boy.
Today, thanks to
that's a
Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon, I have my Vortexes because they're Combaticons, and I will have a set of individuals, and I will have a Bruticus.
Everything is bigger in
vortices?
Vortexes, yes, thank you. So these have been going in and out of stock at regular retail on Amazon. It's been fluctuating between retail and about $45 through third-party sellers. So if you're looking for him, tfradio.net/Amazon. Just stay on it in your browsing history. I was able to snag two with a close ship date. I ordered them on the 4th, and they got here today. So super glad to have him. Started my Combaticons. The last thing on topic I got was the hat trick of Dinonomics, or the hat trick of TF Radio. One, I bought it while I was on the show.
Take a drink.
2, I was able to sell something to pay for it. In this case, it was my Siege Micromaster set from Target from a couple of years ago. I was able to sell it. And 3, well, I'll let the box speak for itself. I got mitten-box, never opened, original tape, GoBots, the GoBot laser gun.
Oh,
neat.
nice.
Wow.
That I have been wanting this for years, because at Jolanta, when we were down there that one time, I got the cap firing row gun in its box. Now I paid significantly less for it than I did this, but this is the GoBots laser gun. I've never had one.
I don't
Like a
think I've ever
knockoff
seen
Soundwave.
Yeah, it's their Soundwave. It's their it was a licensed
Shockwave,
figure.
I think.
Shockwaves.
Shockwave,
that's what I
Shockwave.
meant.
Sorry, it was a licensed figure. The box is for the age, because this is dated 85 copyright on here. For the age, the box is immaculate. It's the original tape, never opened. And for the third hat trick, please don't drink when drive. look where it came from.
Oh, I can't.
Service merchandise.
Ah,
I did not
Excellent.
know that until after it already arrived, because the resolution on the pictures you couldn't make it out on online. But it came from service merchandise originally, with an original value of $17.83,
that's kind of high.
marked down on clearance to $3.85.
Ooh,
I didn't pay that, obviously.
Obviously.
But I have been wanting one of these loose. I never thought I had an eBay gift card from my mother-in-law sitting on this cork board right here for 2 years, waiting for that one thing that if I don't get it, I will never see it again. And the only thing else I would have wanted to use it for was the Premium Collector Studios. They did a She-Ra statue a couple of years ago. That's an incredible looking statue. They never show up. This thing showed up. It has very little crease on the flap. Just an absolutely gorgeous piece that I am so happy to have.
And that's rare that you get like a box that was clearance that was never opened, because normally those toys are just like
Right.
given to a kid and opened
and-
and destroyed.
Yeah, and you can tell this is the original tape with the age of the tape,
The yellowing, yeah.
the yellowing and everything. So this has never been open, and I am trying to make myself not open this because I want that robot out. But I am looking for a loose
This is
one.
one of
Yeah.
the this is one of the situations, where you would definitely want to get a second copy.
Oh,
of it.
absolutely.
Find a loose one.
No,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm gonna rehash an old topic again. We talk about in-state vintage toys where like you want the shelfware on the box so that you have like evidence that it is from the time period
The
it
time
purports to
period,
come
exactly.
from, and like the original sealed factory tape on there yellowed like that is like that's like the ideal of
yeah.
the ideal of toy patina basically, because like you can kind of fake that if you know really what you're doing, but it's still not the same as the genuine aging. The tape starting to pull away a little bit in some of the stress locations on there. Like, for a box that is as nice looking as that, you like, and the price tags too, the price tag, the clearance tag on there,
Yeah.
like all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I mean,
For a box
the-
in that good a condition, you want those elements on there to just establish that, yeah, this is still an original thing. It's in super nice condition, but it is not a reproduction. This is all
Yeah.
the original signs, and that's
That's-
so cool.
yeah, this is the worst damage, is this corner with the creasing and everything on it for those people that do have video. But
That's
there
not bad.
is
Yeah.
a seller on eBay that sells a custom acrylic box for this,
Oh wow.
made to order. It's $95 to have it shipped from Canada. And it's
Well,
like,
Canada, yeah.
I can't do that right now, but I would love. And you know me, mitten-box. Usually, I'll buy two of something if it's great box art. The figure is posed in the box. Being a mitten-box collector has never been my major thing, but I will buy two of a figure to keep one in box if the box, the presentation, all that. Because box toys are to me an art form in itself. Look at the G1 stuff. Look at the Legacy book that most of us have. Because it's toys that we can't. Well, Brian probably has most of them in the box, but there's that.
He's working on it.
He's working on it. But it's stuff like this is something I've never had. I've always wanted. I had one shot to get the money, and thank you to the seller, to the buyer, because I sold my Target that set of MicroMasters from Siege that they had.
Yeah, that 10-pack, right?
Yeah, that 10-pack. Yeah, that covered about half of that. So that makes me feel a lot better on the purchase, plus the gift card from my mother-in-law. So yeah, that was an unexpected find, and I'm just so elated because I'm going to put him on the top shelf of my GoBot shelf beside the Cap Gun one that I got at Joe Land. That was the same trip that I got the Resolute from Exo Squad.
Right.
Yep. So that's all I have on topic this week.
That's really cool, though.
But that it just makes me so happy.
Yeah, I will say I don't think Brian would begrudge you having that as an on-topic thing. GoBots are so close Transformer adjacent. I'm pretty sure they're kosher for the regular segment, no matter what. But like,
Yeah.
that's such a good get. I really would want that to be on the public version of the episode so everybody gets to hear how excited you are. Even in the Discord, Fishy saying that you sounded as excited about Robogun as they were about finding the G1 Megatron right after they talked to you about finding one.
Right. Yeah. It's the last time I felt this excited about getting a figure is when I got 7-Eleven Optimus.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just over the moon for that.
So
So
that is so cool, and never ever open that.
no. I am going to keep my eye on that acrylic set if it ever drops, or if I can sell enough stuff to afford it, because I want that thing to be as protected as possible.
Yeah, I mean, if it's shipping from Canada, that's never going to get cheaper.
No,
I will just tell you that right off.
Yeah, but that's all I got on topic this week.
Perfect. Matt, you're up.
All right. So this week, actually, the day after we recorded last Thursday, I got Commander Class Silverbolt and his wall.
His battle embankment.
Yes.
Tiki bar.
With a hole directly through the center of it, so you can get shot while you're standing behind the gun.
Yeah.
Brilliant design. I really like
Space
this.
Invaders in years.
Yeah.
What, Rob?
I said I haven't played Space Invaders in years.
I really like this. I can understand, with a large package just being like the booster pack / battle embankment / wall, why people might not want to pay commander class for this. But I mean, it doesn't feel any different to me than Optimus Prime, where, half of him was trailer. So Silverbolt himself is really nice. Yes, he just transforms into Silverbolt slung under a jet. But that's what we've come to expect after 40 years.
That's just Silverbolt.
Yes, it's Silverbolt. It's an Aerialbot. I mean, you kind of expect certain things.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Yes, but he has great articulation and looks absolutely fabulous. Now, I have been a lover and a defender of Combiner Wars for 10 years now. But when I got this guy out and compared him to Combiner Wars Silverbolt, it's time for an upgrade. Absolutely. I took my G2 Superion apart the other day because I was redoing my shelves, and the Aerialbots are definitely due for an update. And I actually like the skeletal system combiner, like the way Menasor did it and the way Superion's leaning. Yes, I wish they would have done it so all of the deluxes were interchangeable, so you could scramble city it, but nothing's perfect. But yes, Silverbolt is great. I think John mentioned last week that he's very, very gray, and yes, he is. He is darker than you would expect. It's definitely not coming across on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
He is gray, but man, he's a nice, bulky, sturdy figure. He's got some decent heft to him for the size of the robot. I actually kind of love the bonkers wall jet assembly thing. is just ridiculous enough.
Well, Diecast, were you saying with your Silverbolt, you were thinking it was like the jet boosters, and it was kind of so you definitely saw it's like when they're together, it makes sense kind of.
Yeah.
In jet mode.
It makes sense to me that it's a spaceship.
Yeah, he justified it in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to because
we all have to do a lot of justifying.
Devastator made me so mad after I, combined it and realized the shortcomings of Devastator were all because of the trailer gimmick. That made me mad. I actually think they did a much better job with Silverbolt than they did with Devastator.
And that chunk of skeleton is super heavy too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm inclined to think I haven't handled the toy, but I'm just inclined to think Silverbolt probably is better doing what it's doing than the Devastator Commander pack is, because the jet booster stuff does more things and can interact with the toy in more than one way.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
even with Motor Masters, I mean, you get that big cannon.
Yeah,
mode
Motor
out of it,
Masters was
so-
great
Yeah.
too. Well,
It
it,
just
was
feels-
fine. Maybe not great, but it was fine.
Yeah.
No, it was
It-
great.
okay.
Motor Master, everything about Motor Master was great.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's like, it's like I was talking about last week when you were talking about the value on the Constructicons. It's just you really can't do anything at that Commander class price point other than toss in stuff for Devastator. There's no in that
Yeah.
2-pack.
Yeah, exactly.
They're kind of just shoehorned into like, this is the only price that we can get this thing out at
Yeah,
retail.
exactly. And in
What are
that
you going to add?
in that frame of reference, all I really ask is for those obligatory extra parts to just be able to interact with the what I consider the main toys more and in a more meaningful way. Silverbolt at least is trying to do that with its
Yeah.
add-on parts.
It sort of reminds you of Blitzwing's energy fist things. It's like it doesn't do anything but add to the price.
Yeah,
It's
kinda.
not doing anything.
Anything else, Matt?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a package in the mail today, in fact, from Surugaya or Surugio, however you pronounce it.
Technically it's Suruga. We call it Surugaya just because that's how Rob introduced it to us.
But
And that's the
I,
URL.
Yeah, well,
but I got C05 and C06 Missing Link, Sunstreaker, and Corden.
mine
Oh,
don't.
nice.
Awesome.
My Sunstreaker doesn't
Oh.
get here till tomorrow.
Oh,
Mine's still en
they,
route.
they are so good.
They're not using magical
So good.
they're not using magical DHL
No,
anymore. It's
just EMS.
EMS.
Yeah.
So I never had G1 Sunstreaker and have never even really had a chance to mess around with the mold. So this doesn't seem quite as magical as Optimus Prime does, you know, with having the context for the original articulation or lack thereof.
Hmm.
But I mean, he's got all sorts of shoulder articulation. He's got bicep swivels, interchangeable hands, so you can hide a pair away or just take them off like the original toy. His head turns. I mean, in car mode, you can flip up the engines and have like a Scourge mode where the head sticks up over the car mode. I love these things so much. I will absolutely buy a spin out if they do it or when they do it. And they do come with the little Diaclone drivers. So I've got my little blue jeans and khaki shirt wearing, not Spike Witwicky here.
Diaclone with Wiki.
Yes. These things are just so great. Long may this line continue. And yes, if they do the Lambor mold or the Dotson mold,
They will.
oh,
They will. And Jazz.
yes. Yes. Well, I mean, Jazz is, you'll get less reuse out of that, but
Yeah, you
the
get
Dotsons
you get
and the Lambors will be devastating.
yeah. You only get 2 out of Jazz really, but like they're a meaningful 2.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, John mentioned this last week where I totally agree with him, where you don't remember how small these toys were.
Mhm.
Like it fits in the palm of your hand in vehicle mode.
Yeah.
Like they are.
Mhm.
Whew.
I
The-
keep commemorative series Ricochet nearby in sight as much as I can, just to kind of keep alive in my mind how small G1 Diaclone cars actually were, because like
Yeah, even the packaging is a lot smaller than you're expecting. Like
Yeah.
you open up this great big box and there are 2 of these in there, you're like, okay, where's the rest of the toy? But oh, they are so good. And I guess what next is what the RCs.
yeah, that should be the next one up.
Yeah.
Super excited about those. But that is all I got this week.
Cool. Rob, I believe that brings us down to you.
Just one thing I forgot to mention last week. Hellcat86 on our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, sent me off of my Amazon wish list, tfradio.net/playlist. He apparently bought Megatronus the Fallen for me at probably the exact same moment that Brian did.
Oops.
So, yeah, that showed up, and yeah, I didn't want to forget it because I really do appreciate it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the second one, but it's a really good toy, and I really appreciate the thought. So yeah, thank you very much. And that is all I've got on topic.
I mean, you almost got a third one because I was trying to buy that for you too, and I didn't quite get there in time.
That would have been funny.
One more thing with the Missing Link figures is they've got those glorious rubber wheels and they just roll effortlessly along surfaces.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So the Diaclone driver is supposed to magnet into the driver compartment, right?
Theoretically, I mean, the magnets are in there, but I don't know if there's enough metal in the compartments to actually
Okay.
adhere. But I mean, I have the police one inside Gordon and he ain't going anywhere.
Okay, that's good. I was just wondering like how strongly they hold in there because like
Yeah, and you
Diaclone
can
drivers sneeze
you
and
can
lose
put
them.
you can put him in the seat, and as long as you're not throwing stuff around, like you can transform him and not take it out.
Oh wow, that's nice. Okay, cool. Well, that brings us to the off-topic portion of our what we got this week. Colloquially, ham sandwiches, as was the style of the time. I don't have anything, so let's go to Diecast for some off-topics.
Yeah, I got a robot lawnmower. And it's out there mowing my lawn as we speak.
In the dark?
It can do it in the dark, yeah.
How does it see? Does it have a flashlight?
It does have it has a headlight.
Huh.
So
Yeah, kind of hoping for night vision goggles, honestly.
Oh yeah. If it actually had night vision goggles that you have to put on it so it can work at night, that would be perfect.
Even more better if it looked like Wally. You just have Wally out there doing.
I was thinking like a room with like a scope dog head. For
Yeah,
the
yeah,
three
yeah,
people
yeah,
listening
yeah,
who
yeah,
will
yeah.
get that.
Yep. And then the other thing I got was Sue Storm, the Marvel Legends.
From the new movie one?
The new movie one, yeah. The only one I'm missing right now is Thing.
He's on BBTS right now.
Yeah, well, I had them all pre-ordered on Amazon. I really love the packaging. It's very retro. Really, I'm sure that'll all tie in once I watch the movie. But yeah, that's one of the movies I'm super excited about seeing. I'm hoping it's going to be good.
Yeah, I was tempted on the Lady Silver Surfer because I didn't. That's sort of like an interesting take, and it's not Aunt May, so we have to see where that goes.
Yeah, I'm excited about the whole thing, and I could be disappointed, but we'll see. That's all I got.
Okay. Don.
Yeah, I got a couple of interesting things here. First off, I'm going to plug tfradio.net/Amazon because several things did come from there with Prime Day sale going on. Please consider using us for all your Amazon purchases while the bargains last. Now, this did not come from Amazon, but it was on sale for $10 at Walmart. Everyone is doing their own version of Prime Days. I got the retro carded Prowler for $10. I always like Prowler's outfit. I got it mainly to leave on card because it was the retro 90s Spider-Man, but it's a little wobbly, so he might wind up coming out of the packaging. But I've always liked the outfit's very 90s. It's 90s Spider-Man. I have a soft spot for that, so I picked that up. Saw a post on Twitter that Walmart had marked down on some of their clearance collector's items to like dirt cheap. So I went in to see what they had. And even though I didn't watch the show that much, I thought the figures were nice. I picked up the Biker Mice from Mars figures by the sale. They were $8 a piece on clearance.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, these things were 24 or 34 originally.
The Cell's the company that's going to be making the new Star Trek figures, right?
And the Moo Mesa and the Cowboys Moo Mesa.
Yeah, nobody cares about that. I just want to know, like, if I can expect to get an $8 Captain Jellicoe or Captain Garrett later on.
Maybe, I don't know, but again, these were the first foray into selling in stores, so that may not have worked out for them like they thought.
Apparently not.
Yeah, but I got all three for $24, and they look great. So there's that. Also, while I was there from the sale, I got the Max Steel, the Robo Force. It was also $8. This was a $35 figure originally.
It never should have been.
Yeah, I know. But I've
Needs a
got
suction cup.
yeah, no suction cup. But I've got the gold version, the fireproof version that I got for like $10 when it went down originally. It's just this is a lot of figure for $8, and I think it'll look great on my no theme shelf. And they also only had a couple of these left, so I wanted to get one. I stopped by Ross today to look for my wife some the water flavorings, and I picked up the Java Toys Count Chocula to go with Chester Cheetah and Tony the Tiger, because it was like $11 instead of the 25 that they were in the stores.
Nice.
A few months ago, they had Frankenberry, but I don't like Frankenberry cereal, so I really didn't care.
Frankenberries was so much better when I was a kid when it had like twice the amount of sugar in it.
Yeah. I was hoping they would have done like a Fruity Yummy Mummy or something. That would have been cool, but they never did. It was just those two and then Blueberry. But for $11 for a $25 figure, I think it'll look really cute on the shelf with Tony and Chester. Target has a sale going on right now, $10 off 40. I wasn't planning on getting this, but with the sale, and it looks really great. It is Dungeons and Dragons, but it's Strongheart. It's not my Dungeons and Dragons, but it is D&D, and it's by NECA, and I got it for like $27 after the sale. And this is the companion piece that goes with the dwarf that I got a few weeks ago. So now I've got the set for a lot less than retail. And again, it's just the rule of cool. It's a great looking figure. And the last thing to really, I believe it's Manny Cara who has a thing that I have with Super 7. I do, but it's also a love affair with cheap. Thanks to the Amazon Prime Day, I got the black and red Mum-Ra, the Ever Living.
Nice.
Which was a BBTS exclusive on Amazon.
Hmm.
Not sure how that worked out, but I got it for significantly less than retail. And this gives me 3 Mum-Ras: regular Mum-Ra, this Mum-Ra, and the Dream Master clear translucent version, which I think will make a really super impressive Mum-Ra shelf whenever I get it done. Other than that, that is all I got this week off topic.
Why is there a black and red Mum-Ra?
I don't remember this happening in the show. It might have been animation error, or it could just be a cheap way of getting another use out of the mold, because this did not have the slip cover, which they've been phasing out. So I think it's just they were looking for some kind. BBTS was looking for an exclusive, and this was like, this is an easy one, because there's nothing on the packaging mentioning when this happens. But the black and the red with the silver highlights, it's just, again, the rule of cool.
Thought it might be part of his like transformation footage or something, maybe.
I hadn't thought about that, but you could be right when he's in the middle. So it's one of those in between scenes where he's just colored all funky. But I just think he looks so cool. I just didn't want to pay full retail for him, so I picked that up. Again, tfradio.net/Amazon.
Matt?
Nothing off topic.
Rob?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. I'll make it quick. My only, besides like household needs that were slightly cheaper than usual, my only Prime Day purchase, tfradio.net/Amazon, was Taito Milestones 3 for the Nintendo Switch. That has Bubble Bobble and Rainbow Islands. Also Rastan Saga 1 and 2, which I've never played, but I've heard are good. And also Kadash, which is one of my like favorite like early side-scrolling action RPGs. Arcade game. Really good. Really enjoyed it at the time. Haven't played it in years. None of the adaptations for home systems had all the character classes from the arcade, so happy to have that. It was $28 down from like the usual 50 that they charge, which I think, for honest, I feel like for 10 emulated arcade games is a little much, but 28 is a little better. The other thing I got was kind of a surprise to me. Right now there's a Call of Duty mobile crossover with Gundam. Though, like, there's like a battle mode with a small set of mobile suits. I've heard it plays a lot like the Gundam Versus series. And Activision sent me a press kit for it.
Ooh.
It has a real grade Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version, full set of modeling tools, and is a really nice, like, elaborate box that is basically designed to double as a photographic stand for the kit. So
Cool.
yeah, I need to at least get some photos of the unbuilt kit, if not, actually finish it and post that too. But yeah, I have no idea why they did this, because I've never really covered anything Call of Duty related. But many thanks to them for sending it my way, because I haven't built a real grade in forever. That should be interesting.
Is the Wing Zero one of the mobile suits in the Call of Duty crossover?
It probably is. To be honest, they're going really big on Gundam Wing this year, since it is the 30th anniversary.
Oh, that's fair, yeah.
Yeah, so
maybe we'll finally get a high-grade Taurus kit.
That would be nice. I know we're getting a real grade TV version of Wing Gundam Zero later in the year, which
that's long overdue.
Yeah, that is a underrepresented design, I feel like.
It really is. Well, it is now. Like, they seem to try to push it as hard as they could in like 2000.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of a different time, and everything obviously subsequent from that has just been the Endless Waltz version because
big fancy wings.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is all I've got for this week.
All right. Once again, our off-topic segment is exclusive to our Patreon version of the episode. If you would like to get the full uncut what we got segment, including our off-topic ham sandwiches, you can become a patron at patreon.com/tfradio. Benefits of becoming a patron: besides that, you get an ad-free version of the podcast. The regular public feed version tends to have automatically inserted pre-roll and post-roll ads put in by the hosting service. We release the episode a day early to the patrons, not necessarily 24 hours, but it will be the day before it goes up on the public feed. The podcast gets posted in a higher bit rate. There is, of course, the weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast, and we did indeed have a pre-show this week where Don and I talked at length about Babylon 5. So maybe become a
You're
patron.
welcome.
Maybe become a patron next week instead. You will also get access to unedited episodes of RFC exclusive to our patrons. That is, if an episode needs like material edits made to it in the course of preparing it for release. This week, I can tell you the edit list is basically just a few instances of crosstalk and me letting Brian know where the off-topic segment starts. So this week, you won't really get an unedited episode of the podcast because there is nothing worth leaving in for anybody. It's just something that's a little bit more messy than the version that will actually go out. So we're actually doing you a service by not giving you the unedited version of this. But on the odd occasion where Don goes off on a tear or, Diecast says a swear or something like that, that might make the Patreon version. So if you want to be sure to be able to catch that, become a patron again at patreon.com/tfradio or tfradio.net/Patreon. Both work, both go to the same place. It just makes it easier for Brian and me when the occasion arises to be able to remember and give you a correct address to go to sign up and help support the show. And believe you me, becoming a patron is a really important way to help support the show. We literally could not do all the things we do without you. And touch tier patrons get even some extra benefit there. They get to exclusively have the privilege of being on There Goes My Money, which we record twice a month generally. And of course, all of our patrons will get the finished episodes of There Goes My Money a week before those go out to the public feed. And of course, finally, last but not least, our Touch patrons get a special thank you every episode, which we're going to do right now. So thank you very much to our Touch patrons, Kevin Dorsey, Sent the Proto, Mullis Koenig, Daniel Scott, Fast Talk Food Reviews, Trickster, Here's Why It's Cool, Ryan Bona, Emmett Sresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Joey Russell, Sean Williamson, who Brian still hasn't gone in and fixed the capitalization on the name of, unfortunately, Spider Bob, Sean Hamilton, Sean Breton, and Crazy Word. Thank you all so much for your support of the show. And as Don mentioned during the off-topic segment, which you will not have heard if you're getting this in the public podcast version, so I'll reiterate here, as of when we're recording this, Amazon Prime Days is still ongoing. If you're going to be making Amazon purchases during that time, or just any time at all, you can use our affiliate link, tfradio.net/Amazon. If you go, that will set a cookie in your browser for about 24 hours. So from that point until the cookie expires, any purchases you make on Amazon, unless you click on someone else's affiliate link in the meantime, those purchases will go and send a little bit of referral fee back to us. If you want to make sure we get it, then just, every time you go to Amazon, you can use our link, tfradio.net/Amazon. It's a little bit per purchase, but, over volume, that really does add up, and that has been another, important way of us generating the money to help keep the podcast and all the other materials going. So thank you very much to everybody who shops with our link, and thank you again to all of our patrons. Brian is not here. You can find him on Blue Sky at kilby.bsky.social. You can find his website at briankilby.com. John DeLuna is not here. He is that John D everywhere online except for eBay, where he is Cloudburst. Rob Springer is not with us on the show. He is and always will be part of the RFC family. You can find him at zonebase.org, zonebase.bsky.social, and he has the Transform Squadron podcast, which usually goes up once a month on our main podcast feed, so keep an eye out for that. I'm not sure off the top of my head when the next episode of that is planned to go out, but when it does, it will be up there in the same place that you find RFC. Don, where do people find you online?
I can be found on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can be found on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I do have also an Amazon wish list. Recently turned 55 about 2-3 weeks ago. Thank you to everyone that sent me something. Other than whoever sent me the Core Class Supreme Cheetor, and you can burn for that. But it's tfradio.net/Don list.
Rob?
The Cheetor still keep coming. I can't stop them.
I can be found on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. I can be found on YouTube at youtube.com/@flailthroughs. That's my Gundam gaming channel. There will probably be some kind of minor content about that press kit at some point, I hope. But in the meantime, Gundam Battle Operation 2, which is coming up on its 7th anniversary in a week or two. And last week we got the Hazel Ausla Gigantic Arms Unit type. I didn't get it, but it looks fun. It's ridiculous. I like it. The weekly update for the game, I cover the PSN version every Thursday, so check out the channel if you want to see that. Patreon.com/flailthroughs if you want to support the channel. And if you just feel like sending me something, tfradio.net/claylist is where my Amazon wish list lives.
Hey, Rob, do they have that big ZAM on Amazon that you can add to your list? Someone may get that for you.
That's a big ask.
That big ZAM is a big ask.
Yeah.
It is. It's enormous. I don't think it's on Amazon yet, but yeah, that thing is that is huge.
It's more than Unicron. It's more than Unicron. So yeah.
But less than the Unicron lamp. Diecast, where do we find you?
You can get a hold of me on X and Blue Sky at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. You can see my reviews at tfradio.net/reviews or youtube.com/RFC reviews. My birthday is in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks.
How old will you be?
I'll be 43. So you can, if you want to send me something nice, my Amazon wish list is tfradio.net/diecast list.
Matt?
Melvar.bsky.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
And my Amazon wish list is at tfradio.net/chrislist. If you want to find me, come to our Discord, tfradio.net/discord. And my website, which is an archive of my toy photography and things I've written about toys and photography, oddly enough, is at playwithphotography.com. That'll do it for our show tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. We will see you next time. Hopefully Brian will be back and his daughter will be out of the hospital and back to eating delicious, delicious slabs of ribs. If you know, you know. Good night, everybody.
Yep. Take care, everybody.
Recording stopped.
Cool, good show.
Yeah.
I actually had to work today. I'm off tomorrow because we've got our in-laws are coming down for the weekend. Christy won a high-value picture package from a photographer that she knows. So we're having family photos done with her family coming down, and so we have to get ready tomorrow. And then tomorrow night we're going to go see, because our town now has a Caesar's Casino, and we are going to go see Gabriel Iglesias, better known as Fluffy, tomorrow night. So we're looking forward to that.
I'll pretend I know what any of that means. I mean, I know what a
Well,
Caesar's Casino is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gabriel Iglesias is a very funny comedian.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
I'm gonna get going.
name
I'll see you guys.
I
Good night,
appreciate
Diecast.
this stuff.
Take care, Diecast.
So we get to play Swedish Death Cleaning today and tomorrow, and then to get ready for the folks. And well, the office is going to be the thing because it's mostly all my stuff, so it has to go somewhere. But I've almost got to the point where I'm ready to take Tiamat downstairs.
Don't drop
and
it.
not assemble it. I haven't got nowhere for it yet.
Yeah.
But I finally got room. I can take it downstairs. So there's that. But
Put it right on a coffee table in the middle of the living room, Don. That's a centerpiece.
our living room isn't big enough for a coffee table. We tried that. We have more room than we did at the apartment, obviously, but most of the usable space is downstairs. All of our bedrooms are small, and so it's like we really don't have the room to put a coffee table. You literally could not get to the couch if there's a coffee table there.
Yeah,
I got to
feel
get
your
going
pain.
as well. I have to go replace my dad's cybernetic implant, so I will
Okay.
catch you guys soon.
All right. Good night,
It's
Rob.
a freestyle sensor to monitor blood sugar, but yeah, sounds much better
okay.
that way.
All right.
Yeah,
Take care, Rob.
live audience, I'm
Later,
going to go
guys.
ahead and kill the stream. Thank you for being here, and we will see you all next week.
Yeah, I feel your pain, Don. Like I bought the house with an